Hey, good morning, Facebook. This is not my regular Breakthrough Walls program. I'm just going live to talk about something near and dear to my heart. So I wanted to hop on here for a minute and talk about problem solving. So, look, every single one of us on this planet faces problems. We all face problems all the time. Taylor, hey, Tammy Acosta, how in the world are you guys? So, we all face problems. We all hit these walls in life. And I've hit them many, many, many times. I've faced problems that I just did not have the answer to, no matter how hard I tried to figure it out, no matter how much energy I spent focusing on what is the solution. What's the solution? Why are my lights dimming? Did y'all see that? My lights just dim. That was weird. Um, so, one thing that I have found to be absolutely um, the answer, because we all hit these areas in life. You're not alive if you haven't hit this situation, right? So the way that we solve a problem that we do not have the answer to is, man, my lights are dimming. That's not good. I could lose you guys. If I do, I apologize. I'm not in control of the electric. So the way that we solve problems, first off, Einstein said, "Hey Anna, how are you?" Einstein said, "You cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it." See, we're all creating these situations in our lives. We all have these problems, these situations that occur, and then we get into trouble. We get into a situation where we don't know what to do, and there is only one way, and that is you have to surrender to the problem. Have to surrender, and you have to make room. Hey, Joe Skelly, dude. I'm going to call you here in a little bit, bro. So, you have to surrender. Like, for example, I'm a recovered alcoholic, and you guys have all heard me talk about this. I'm a recovered alcoholic, coming up on 17 years sober, and I had this problem for many, many, many years of consuming alcohol like it was water and on a nonstop basis, right? And so I didn't. I mean, I knew, but I was in denial, so I didn't really know that I had a problem. When I finally came to the place where I'm like, okay, I'm going to admit that I'm an alcoholic. And that was the last thing in the world I ever wanted to admit. But it finally got to that place where I didn't want to live anymore, and I didn't want to die, and I didn't know what else to do. I had no idea what to do. I had to surrender. I had to surrender my belief system about the situation. I had to surrender my belief system about whether or not alcohol was good for me or not. I had to surrender all of that. I had to let go of the idea, the concept that I could drink like a normal person could drink. I had to surrender. I had to find a power greater than me. Now, back then, I believed I was the highest power. I believed that there was no greater power than me. And that, my friends, is what kept me in the bottle, kept me drinking the way that I drank. And eventually I had to come to the point where I surrendered and I said, okay, God, if you're there, if you're real, I surrender. I can't do this on my own. And I was in tears when it happened, when the moment of surrender, and I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that moment, because it was the moment that a journey began for me that I didn't even realize was coming. I had no idea what was coming. I just knew that the way I had lived up to that point was not working for me anymore. It wasn't working. It sucked. It was terrible. It was horrible. I was a horrible person. I was not a good person at all to anybody around me. And I didn't want to live that way because I had a moral compass that pointed north, but my actions were totally different than what I felt on the inside. And so I surrendered and I found a higher power that I choose to call God today. Now, back then, I was like, I don't know about all this God talk. But I'm going to tell you something. I surrendered to that. And it's not something you can see. It's not something that's tangible that you can feel and touch. It's something that produces evidence, however, in your life. And so I surrendered to this, and I'm telling you that in the midst of a severe storm, I don't care what the storm is in your life, you have to calm your mind down because you're trying to, if you're anything like me, and I would say a lot of people think in these patterns, right? You're trying to go, okay, how am I going to solve this problem? So you take the problem the way that you see it right now in this moment, and you start pontificating in your head, okay, or you start pontificate's the wrong word. You start thinking of all the different scenarios, the different possibilities, the different outcomes. When I first got sober, a friend of mine asked me, Ken, what is it that you want out of being sober? And I said, Wayne Elsey, I did, dude. I did that too. When you're asleep in your car in the middle of a cornfield and a state trooper's tapping on your window, you kind of are, you're forced to surrender. So what was I saying? Now Wayne threw me off. He threw me off. Anyway, you have to surrender. There is a power, there is an authority that created us, that created this universe, that created everything that you can see. So, you get into these thought patterns. You're trying to figure everything out. You're trying to find the solution to the problem. And hey, sometimes that works. Sometimes you find that solution. But it's just like when I'm sitting here, last week with I didn't have an expired tag. Sometimes I'm sitting here and I'm trying to figure out a coding a situation where I'm trying to figure out coding on a website, or I'm trying to solve a problem with a client problem or something. And sometimes, and you guys have all been there, where you're trying to figure something out. It's like losing your keys or your cell phone. You're just beating your head against the wall. Where could it be? Where could it be? If you just surrender and ask for that guidance, almost always you're going to get the answer. So one of my favorite, and I'm not Bible thumping, I promise you, but one of my favorite things out of the Bible is this right here. And that is, be still and know that I am God. Sometimes you just have to be still. Sometimes you have to just calm yourself down. Remove yourself from the problem. Remove yourself from all of the possible outcomes that you're projecting into your future. Because the solution probably is not in your projected outcomes. A buddy of mine used to say, dude, turn your projector off, man. It's broken. Because I was like, I would project the worst possible scenario in everything. We all know people that if they hit the lottery, they would find a reason to be upset about it, right? Oh no, now what? Now everybody's going to come out of the woodwork and ask me for money, and I'm going to... Dude, you just hit the lottery. Relax. Enjoy it. Enjoy the moment. Don't project bad stuff into your future. And the way that you're going to solve any of these situations in your life is surrender. I do. I have situations come up all the time. All the time. Wayne Elsey, that dude's got a blue check mark next to his name. He has a blue check mark. Do you know what that means? That's his personal profile, by the way. That means he is verified. Dude has a Wikipedia page, okay? I know Wayne pretty daggone well. We've had many, many, many hours of conversations over the phone and in person, and I'm going to tell you something about that guy. Number one, he's one of the coolest dudes you'll ever want to meet. Number two, he's got problems. He's got challenges. He has a beach house, but he still has problems. He still has challenges. And if you learn how to just remove yourself from the problem for a moment, don't be caught up here in the problem. You got to remove yourself from that problem for a minute and go, okay, you know what? I've thought about this, and I don't know how to get through it. I don't know how to figure this out. I don't know. He did. He bailed me out of jail. Not. Thank God I haven't been to jail in quite a long time. Ever since I quit drinking, I no longer break out in handcuffs. So, like when you're in the middle of the storm, be still. Be still and know that there is a God, and that God did not bring you this far to let go now. We all have problems. Just know just how you manage them is key. They're not problems. They're opportunities. Amen, dude. Wow, you know what? That right there is worthy of putting up on the screen, Wayne. You finally said something. You finally said something I can put up on the screen. But he's right. It's true. It's true. They're not problems. They're opportunities. And sometimes, I can't sit here and spout off who was it? Thomas Edison. He failed 10,000 times. I don't know how many times. Does anybody really know? I wasn't there in the lab with him or whoever it was he figured out a way to not create the light bulb. Thank you for sharing, Sawyer. I guarantee you I'll check Wayne Elsey's page later and he didn't share. I'm just kidding. He's putting together some more bail money for me. But so here's the thing. You've got to let go of all of the potential bad outcomes. If you want to solve a problem, the very first step is surrender to it. The second step is project the outcome that you want to have happen. Not that you're afraid of happening, because you're going to attract more of that crap. Project the outcome that you want to have happen for that situation, whatever it is. It doesn't mean that it works every single time. I don't want to. Wow. Ouch, man. Ow, that hurt. That hurt, man. Wow. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, don't share it, man. If you're gonna lose your blue check mark. Wow. I'm kidding. So no, project the outcome that you want to have happen. Project that outcome. And it happens every day in some way. Like for everybody, like we all are faced with these situations, these, as Wayne called it, opportunities to grow. Like some of the greatest things that have ever been invented were invented because of a bad problem. I mean, the prosthetic limb, it was invented to solve a problem, not by somebody that not because like some guys like, hey, if anybody were to ever lose an arm or a leg, I think it would be really cool if I made something that would help them in the event that anybody on planet Earth ever had to live with that problem, right? No, somebody had that problem and somebody said, hey, I have an idea. Why don't we invent a prosthetic limb so you can walk again? Or you can, so like, Don't whoever clicked the laugh mark on his comment, don't go unclick the laugh mark. Don't laugh at him. It makes it worse. Anyway, good seeing you, Wayne. I appreciate you stopping in, man. I'll give you a buzz later and give you a bunch of crap for harassing me. Anyway, so look, I'll tell you, I spoke to a friend of mine earlier, and I said, look, like, man, I'll tell you, no matter what the problem is, somebody said this to me. This isn't my original wisdom. Somebody said this to me. No matter what the problem is, the answer is God. No matter what the problem is, the answer is God. And you may say, well, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. And all I have to say to you is, look, just examine where your best thinking has gotten you to. And if it's not like really up here on a high level, then you may want to consider that there's a power greater than you. And if not, that's cool, man. Eventually, we're all going to find out, right? You're going to find out eventually, so am I. And maybe you're right and I'm wrong. But what if I'm right and you're wrong? So you may want to consider that. So surrender to the problem. Surrender to it. Seek answers from a power greater than you outside of yourself. But also seek the answers inside yourself, because they're there. You're already connected to this spiritual being that we call God. You're already part of that. The answers are there. You have to quiet yourself. Like I just showed you in the graphic, and I'll throw it up one more time because it's one of my favorites. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. Just calm yourself down, man. Just settle down. I don't care what the situation is. You've got to calm yourself down. Remove yourself from the situation or the problem or the challenge or the opportunity, as Wayne called it. Remove yourself from it for a minute, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, a day, a month, maybe a year, I don't know. But remove yourself from that. Calm yourself down and seek answers from within and from God. And I promise you that it will all work itself out. You guys have a great day. I have a very special guest on tomorrow. Looking forward to having this person on, and you will see this guy is amazing. So God bless you all. Have a great day. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate you. I even appreciate the haters like Wayne LC. He's not a hater. He's a good buddy of mine. Good dude. All right, I'll talk to you guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.